The Arcturian Group Message, April 23, 2017. Dear ones, we greet you in love and with great respect as we witness the struggles taking place both within and without for so many. Increasingly intense levels of light energy are now flowing to Earth for the purpose of assisting Gaia and all who choose to move forward in their ascension journey. Never doubt that you are in body now because you chose it. You recognize the value of being on Earth during these times of tremendous opportunity to complete any remaining unfinished business with others, clear old cellular memory, experience Gaia's as well as your own ascension, and at the same time be of service to others. Many awakened ones feel confusion and question because judging by appearances the world doesn't look or seem to be anywhere near what was expected. Be patient, dear ones, and do not let yourselves become overwhelmed with discouragement, for you are in the midst of intense inner and outer cleansing at this time. Much is yet to come as this process unfolds. Release any concepts of how your life or the world should be, for the human mind is only able to bring forth solutions and ideas already present in consensus consciousness. The new world will not simply be a polished version of the old world but will be new because it will be formed of the higher energies of light and unconditional love. As more and more individuals hold and reflect truth and trust, acknowledging the reality of things seen and unseen, the world formed of falsehood and low-density consciousness must begin to dissolve. Lower-density creations have no law to support or hold them in place because they are made of beliefs of duality and separation. We wish to speak of forgiveness because most of you are in the process of clearing both old and new cellular memory, which causes all remaining lower resonating energies to resurface. Issues and emotions you thought you had long ago resolved may once again present themselves. This is because the clearing of intense experiences takes place in layers, as you are spiritually able and ready, which is determined by your higher self. Many of you are now spiritually ready to clear all remaining old energy, even those things you buried deeply, hoping never again to feel or think about. If you find yourselves experiencing unfamiliar or unpleasant emotions, physical symptoms, or crazy dreams, understand that they are most likely old energies flowing through and out. Real forgiveness is not possible for human beings living fully in third-dimensional consciousness. When one has been hurt, punished unfairly, or made to suffer from the actions of others, the thoughts of revenge that rise within a sense of separation are normal reactions. The energies necessary for real forgiveness simply are not there. However, as individuals gradually move beyond the false beliefs of duality and separation, evolution, and into a conscious realization of oneness, the door to forgiveness begins to open, allowing the already present energies of unconditional love and forgiveness to flow through, not from, because only God can love. Forgiveness in its truest sense is a recognition of the impossibility of anything or anyone existing outside of the One. As long as there is a belief that someone or self needs forgiveness, there exists the belief in duality and separation. At some point, each evolving soul must move beyond concepts of forgiveness and into truth. Love is the only answer because love is all that exists. Whether or not an individual believes this is irrelevant and cannot change the reality of what is. We do not speak of the wishy-washy emotional nonsense so many consider to be love. We speak of a consciousness that understands that no one can touch the reality of who you are, unless you believe they can, for there is only one. Outer experiences will continue to reflect one's personal consciousness as well as the consensus consciousness of the world until he/she brings themselves out from under the bondage of a consciousness conditioned by falsehoods. You are creators, but have not known it, and so for eons have been ignorantly creating experiences of duality and separation and then asking why God would allow such things. These ideas about forgiveness will be confusing for some of you, and you may respond with resistance. Take them into meditation and contemplate, asking yourselves, what am I believing that is making me feel this way? Is it true? How can I possibly forgive and actually love this person, church, family member, business, etc. who did this awful thing to me? We do not say you must forget, nor do we say you are to suddenly become the best friend of someone who has hurt you. or that it is fine to take unsafe risks around those who may not have your best interests in mind. Pretending to live out from a state of consciousness not yet attained is very human, but most of you have evolved into a readiness to understand and integrate true forgiveness. The reality is that you are forever and always have been expressions of the one divine consciousness/source/God. Would, or even could, God do something harmful and painful to itself? As you learn to recognize the true nature of things, you will discover that nothing real needs forgiveness, because the idea of forgiveness indicates that there is someone outside of the one. The pain of betrayal, the reason for most issues requiring forgiveness, remains long after the event, person, or organization is no longer a part of one's life, because the intense emotions of the experience are usually solidly stored in cellular memory, ready and able to activate at the smallest provocation. Try not to resist, for resistance simply gives power and reality to the emotions, beliefs, etc. you seek to move beyond. Instead, be patient and loving with yourself when you are hurting. Acknowledge that these painful emotions for now are a part of your energy, but that there is no law holding or supporting them. Speak to the cells of your physical body, visualize them filled with light, and tell them it is okay, and not to fear the release of old and finished energy. Know that it is okay to pamper yourselves. There is nothing unspiritual about doing the things you love, and just enjoying life. Teachings that separate the spiritual and the human are false, based in religious doctrine created by unevolved human minds and not God. There is nothing outside of the one, it is only the human mind's false belief system that interprets some things as spiritual, but other things not. The essence of all things is divine, for it is all there is. Painful and unresolved issues between two people, often dominant/victim, will remain in cellular memory and be carried into each lifetime, continuing to manifest between the same people in different roles. This type of connection between people results in the formation of energy cords. Energy cords are created whenever there are intense experiences of either good or bad between two people and become a facet of one's energy field until removed, or until one of the two evolves beyond the energy that created the cords in the first place. The cord no longer has anything to attach to. The dissolving of energy cords does not remove a person from one's life, but removes the intense and often unhealthy sense of bondage that accompanies them. Energy cords develop between sexual partners, frequently between a child and a parent, or with anyone with whom there has been shared intense experiences. Energy cords bind those involved to low resonating energy and should be removed, which is easily done by energy healers, or by self through intention. In the presence of my higher self and my guides, I consciously choose to remove any and all energetic cords attaching me to. Visualize light dissolving the cords which are usually attached to the solar plexus chakra, and fill in the space with soft golden light. It is the intention, not specific words, that is important. Conscious awareness of self as self is the path to freedom, dear ones, and is how you become free from pain and suffering in a world formed of energy that does not even exist in divine mind. Once you are able to acknowledge the reality of who and what you are, the outer scene will no longer have power over you, because you now recognize it for what it is. You are evolving beyond concepts of forgiveness, into a realization of oneness. Evolution is a process. First comes an intellectual awareness of some truth, followed by a period of time, sometimes years, spent reading, taking classes, and inner contemplation. When ready, the soul integrates the truth, and it becomes an attained state of consciousness. If an individual has already attained the consciousness of some truth in a former lifetime, the intellectual awareness simply becomes remembering, followed by fast and easy integration. This is why it is not wise to compare your journey with that of others, as everyone has had different lifetimes and experiences before this one. Trust that your higher self is putting you right where you need to be for what you need to learn. True forgiveness is an attained state of consciousness that realizes there is nothing to forgive. At the same time, it is important to remember that not everyone is ready to understand this deeper sense of forgiveness, and so there may still be occasions when it is necessary and appropriate to speak the words and take actions that define forgiveness. words and actions spoken from a conscious realization of oneness carry a higher vibration than if spoken as a purely three-dimensional exercise. Those living fully in third-dimensional consciousness are more subject to accidents and events because they are expressing and creating with energies of duality, pairs of opposites, and separation. However, similar experiences, many seeming to require forgiveness, that occur in the lives of those awake to truth, are not a sign of spiritual failure, as some may think, but are instead experiences usually planned pre-birth as being necessary for spiritual growth. This never means you must remain in abusive or harmful situations waiting for the other person to change. It means taking whatever human footsteps may be necessary, while remembering the divine nature of those involved. Refusing to allow others to dishonor you physically, emotionally, or mentally is empowering, because it is the acknowledgement of self as self. Never go back to old, familiar, and comfortable belief systems once you have awakened to the higher sense of these things. It is tempting to align with the energy of crowds, experts, religious leaders, politicians, families, and friends, in order to be accepted and loved. If guided, participate, but do not align with lower resonating states of consciousness. Reverting to a state of consciousness you have evolved beyond creates physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual discord. Trust that your higher self knows where you need to be, what you need to learn, and how and when to get you there. We are the Arcturian group. Channeled by Marilyn Raphael. www.onenessofall.com